Hey there crew, it's Mark and we're checking out this giant beast of a box today. This is the most recent June 2024 subscription box from Archer and Olive. Plastic still on it. Let's rip it open and let's see what's inside. First things first, gotta put that camera super high. This is a giant box that we have here. This is Desk Aesthetics, a June 2024 subscription box. Archer and Olive, there are not too many things a new notebook or pad of paper can't solve. I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of this box, honestly, is just the design all around here. Absolutely loving the stationery, the pencils, the scissors, the paper clips. I think this is gonna be a good box. When we open this up, we are met with a whole lot of stuff. Look at all of the cool stationery. All right, we have our desk aesthetic pack here. This is gonna show us everything that's inside of here. So we'll look at everything, but right off the top, A5 notebook, we've got a B5 notebook, we've got a Duel-tip pens in here, washi tape, a B5 Planning Stencil. We've never seen one of those before. An A5 Zipper Folio, a Memo Pad, and stickers. It's right on top, so let's start with this first. It says journal case. Excited to see what it looks like. I gotta tell you, I am probably saving these boxes. They look so incredibly cool this time around. Look at that, it's right there in front of your face. So this is A5 size that's inside of here. When we open this guy up, you'll see just all of those floral patterns going all the way across here. Archer and Olive logo here, which would be on the back technically. To be honest with you, I really wish that this cover just would have had like the type of stationery or even what's on the box here too. Like that would have been super cool and that could have worked really well as a zipper case as well. Like you're putting stationery inside of it. The florals are nice. The Archer and Olive florals always look super nice. I love the way they look for them, but it's just not something that I personally like to use, whether it's in my journals with stamps or stickers or things like that. And in this case, just a really nice folio case, but not something I think that I'm gonna use personally. So over here on the right-hand side, you have your flap. That is where the back part of your notebook would go and hold it in place while you're using it inside of here. There's also a small pocket over here you could use for a few things, pens, or at least a pair of scissors, things along the line of that you might want to take with you. Then over here on the left side, you have a little snap here. This is gonna be for your washi tapes. This could probably hold, what do you think, maybe 3 or 4 washi tapes on side of here. We also have 2 pockets, a deeper one and a little bit more of a shallow one here. And then you have your pen holders here. 7 of them going across here. That way you can take a few things along with you. Fountain pens, you've got our gel pens fit pretty well inside of here. You have your acrylographs. The collagraphs could fit inside of here too, but the problem is that it's kind of tall, so you probably have to put it on the ends over here so it wouldn't be in the way of your washi in the center if you wanted to take a few with you. Or I'm sure you could maybe put a handful of them over here if you wanted to, maybe like 2 or 3. Overall, I think the case is great. The problem that I personally have with it is I really wish that it just kept this desktop aesthetic on it. Like how cool would it have been if it had this type of like stationary icons covering it with that pattern? Archer and Olive is always known for these type of floral patterns. I get it, very on brand for them. But again, I think we're falling into that very feminine type approach here, not kind of for the masses, which, you know, it is what it is. I usually get a little bit nervous when I see things this size that look like this because usually this means it's like cards or something like that, but it says Memo Pad on it instead. It's keeping that continuation of the patterns throughout. Again, why this pattern wasn't also on top of that folio case, I don't know. Oh, this is nice. I like this a lot. So Archer and Olive, we got a little thumbtack on here. Open this up and you have yourself some nice sheets of paper inside of here. Oh, look at that. Oh, I like that a lot. It's dot grid on the inside of here. I love little notepads like this for just around the desk, especially if I'm not putting something in my bullet journal or I need to take like a real quick note. It's cool to have these. I still have my one from the vintage library that I keep around. I use it actually quite a lot, more than I thought that I would. Just anytime I want to include something or write something down, it's awesome. So excited to have this. Next up, we got our stickers. I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of the same type of colors and patterns on these. This is kind of cool, look at this. So we have like little clipboards that are on here. And then you have mood trackers that are already built in. So you could just take these off and put these right inside of your journals, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Also like the continuation with the foil over top of these, like very stationery-esque. So we have 2 of those. And then you got like my year in pixels, really big, long sticker sheet you can put right inside of your journal. These things are always a pain in the ass to draw. So love that they simplified it for anyone who likes to use it. And a handful of small trackers here with the days of the week. Very useful, very functional. All right, so next, this is kind of big again, but this is the B5 Planning Stencil. I'm so excited to see a large size for everyone who doesn't just like to use A5s with the stencils they've been making. This is cool. This is definitely something we'll probably see for everyone in a few months. Like, it's just too good not to use. So up here on the top, you're gonna see boxes that are labeled all the way across here, and something new that they're doing, and I don't know if you can really see it as well as I can here, is that instead of putting the notches inside of here, they've gone ahead and put small symbols here to indicate on a B5 size where your halves are. The other side here is going to be a centimeter ruler, and then inside of here, just a whole lot of different stencil shapes, which I really like a lot. I also love that they are including like how many squares it is. So you've got a 10 by 4 rectangle, you've got a 4 by 6 rounded rectangle, you've got tabs, long rectangle squares. Like, it's got it all on here. I'm really liking that. And just to show you for that comparison, on the A5 size one, you would notch this little triangle into here to indicate the halves or whatever. So now instead of that, we're going to be looking at those small little symbols. This is a super upgrade. I'm so excited to have it. When are we getting a square one? All right, next we have some dual-tip pens. Liking this. A little bit different than the brush pens that we've had before with the dual end. These actually have a chisel end and a fineliner end, so this should be pretty interesting. So the name of this one, Desk Aesthetic. Love that we have the colors on the back. Eucalyptus, new gray, barely pink, green tea, and salted sea. It's great to see that they're adding the color labels still inside of here. It makes me so happy every time I see it. Since these are markers, we don't gotta shake them up or anything. Let's go ahead and just test them out right now while we're here. So I'm super excited to see the chisel end. So we have a 3mm chisel end on one side, which is actually pretty thin. I was thinking it was gonna be bigger, but then you have something like a mild liner chisel end, and that's what that looks like compared to it. And then over here on this side, we have a 0.4mm fine liner. And something just real quick to take a look at with the tip of the fine liner, this is actually like one of these plastic tips. They're not like those felt tips. So I love the look of these, which means that they're going to last a really long time and you don't have to worry about that tip being pushed inside of the pen. This is awesome. This is really awesome. So I absolutely love these colors. I think they're great. They very much fit my aesthetic. I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot more colors of these in future collections. This is just one of those items that are like the brush pens or like the acrylographs, right? It's one of those things where like, is this going to work out and are we going to see this more? But I can totally see these joining that acrylograph, coleograph lineup. I don't know what we're going to call them. Chiselgraphs? I have no idea, but I'm excited about them. While we're in the accessory space, let's also take a look at the washi tapes. You can't have an Archer and Olive release without washi tapes. So first one here is going to have paper clips, pencils, florals, scissors, kind of all of the things that we've seen so far inside of this collection. We have a nice, really wide one here, and this has times on it, so you'll be able to kind of put these out and just kind of launch them down your page, set up quick daily calendars or whatever that might look like for yourself inside of your planner. We also have a cool ruler one here as well. So some foiled numbers here with our line ticks going down. I'm assuming that it goes from 0 to 24 since those are right next to each other here. And last but not least, we have some squares that are already on here. So you can create a really quick task list for yourself just by putting it down on your paper. All right, the last two things to chat about are gonna be the notebooks. So let's go ahead and check out the A5 first. So starting off, already loving the box on this one. Like I said, I think I'm gonna be using these boxes for things in the studio. They are awesome. This looks slightly familiar to the retro rewind that we saw, but none of the extra pre-done stickers on here, which I like this a lot better. Love that it has the composition. You can probably write your name right on the front here. Nice little scalloped edge here that's printed right onto the notebook. All right, last thing we're gonna take a look at is our B5 notebook. This one's gonna be a dot grid, 112, 160 GSM pages. Go ahead and pop this one open. Oh, look at this cover. We gotta slightly deboss the pencil. You've got the scissors and the paper clip here. And how cool we even have the ruler marks here on the spine as well. Yes. Go ahead and open that up. Oh, and you've got the repeating pattern on the inside cover. Why couldn't we have done that on this? It would have been so much cooler. Let me go ahead and actually show you the ruler on this too, and that way we can see exactly how well this works. So if we hold the box spacing up against here, this is actually the center of the horizontal. So 16 squares is going to be the middle for the top part. And then if we hold this vertically all the way down, you'll see that 23 is the center for the vertical. Still awesome to have this for B5 notebooks. So definitely a very cool box, no doubt about it. Some awesome things that are inside of here. Now, what are my favorite items inside of here? I think this is the first time in a long time where the accessories were some of my favorite things. So our new Chizelographs, I think that these have great colors inside of them. I love the chisel side. I love the fine point side. I think I'm gonna be using these a lot. And again, great color choices as well. The notepad, super cool. Absolutely love just how functional this is. Make quick list on the front. You can flip it over. You have a grid on the back of it, so you can really use it for some cool, real quick ideas, or put it right inside of your bullet journal too, which I think is super cool. I usually don't say the stickers are my favorite part either, but I love functional stickers. I think that these look really cool. They have some really cool functional pieces that just make working inside of your notebook even more fun. The ruler, this for the B5 size, awesome to have this. I definitely think that if you didn't get the subscription box, that this will probably be coming out in the future. Like, this is a must-have for any collection. They did this with the A5s. We've seen multiple versions of that. It's about damn time we have a B5, and I'm hoping a square one for the future. And then speaking of the B5, this notebook is awesome. I love the cover on this one. I think it looks so cool. This is definitely the pattern we should have had on everything. It makes me so mad that that Zipper Folio didn't have that repeating pattern on it. It would have went perfectly with everything inside of this. It's the one thing that kind of stands out in this entire collection, because it would have been cool to have kind of this whole thing go together. And again, for me personally, I would have much preferred the stationery repeating pattern than all of the florals that are on the front of that, but that's just my personal choice. Love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Let me know what your favorite items were inside of this subscription box. And if you're still interested in picking this up, there still should be a few left, so I'll put the link for you down in the descriptions below. Sign up for this quarterly box, get all the cool stuff. It's always a good time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, friends, and I'll talk to you all next time. See ya.